I was super excited when Nintendo announced the upcoming release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars. These are three of the best games of all time coming to Nintendo Switch. I was so excited it inspired me to replay one of my favorite games ever, Super Mario 64. This game's so much fun. I've played through it several times and it never gets old. So, while I wait to play it on my Switch, I guess I'll play it on my Nintendo 64. Prior to this game, Mario and most other Nintendo franchises were all two-dimensional. The major exception to that was Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. Star Fox was revolutionary for its time, creating fully three-dimensional ships and environments. During the production of the game, producer Shigeru Miyamoto, who notably created Mario, came up with the idea of a 3D Mario game. And so work began on Super Mario 64. Development took 3 years, and Super Mario 64 became one of the launch titles for Nintendo's new console, the Nintendo 64. The game and console officially released here in North America on September 29, 1996, alongside Pilotwings 64.
It's me, Mario!
When we first boot up the game, we are greeted by a big floating 3D Mario head, who actually says hello to us. This is the first time that the legendary Charles Martinet voiced Mario on a Nintendo home console. Although most of what he says is... Besides just being really cool, this Mario head actually served a good purpose. It was intended as a way for players to experiment with the Nintendo 64 controller before starting the game. This was one of the launch titles for the console, and frankly, this controller is still bizarre today, never mind 24 years ago. The players could use the controller to move Mario's face around, grab it, pull it, and deform it to their heart's content. It really was a fun and smart way to get people used to the controller. Mario receives a letter from the princess saying that she's baked him a cake and is asking him to come to the castle. When he arrives, Mario is greeted by the sound of Bowser's voice, telling him that no one is home and that he should leave. Mario meets a Toad who says that Bowser trapped everyone from the castle, including the princess, inside the castle walls. Evidently, Bowser stole the castle's Power Stars and is using them to create his own worlds inside the paintings and walls around the castle. So, Mario needs to explore the worlds inside these paintings in order to recover the Power Stars and save the princess. It's honestly a really good story, though it always leaves me wondering, how was Bowser able to trap everyone in the walls in the first place? And if he was able to do it to everyone else, why didn't he just trap Mario in the same way? Whatever, doesn't really matter. This game defined what a 3D platformer really should be. We have a hub world, in this case Peach's Castle, from which we choose what level we want to play. In each level, we have to pass a series of platforming challenges in order to complete some sort of mission, which in this game comes in the form of collecting Power Stars. Super Mario 64 showed us how a traditionally two-dimensional game series could translate very well into 3 dimensions. Although, for as revolutionary as this game is, it does in my opinion have one major flaw: the camera. While it often works well enough, there are a lot of times when the camera gets stuck against a wall or something, or it just won't move to an angle that I want it to. It doesn't necessarily ruin the game, but I usually feel as though any frustration I get from playing this game comes from fighting with the camera. Considering this is a very early 3D platformer, the controls in this game work very well. The thumbstick is used to move Mario around. Pressing A makes Mario jump, and this jump feels very much like it did in the original Super Mario Bros., except now you can move in 3 dimensions. Pressing B will make Mario punch, and pressing Z will make him crouch. While the base controls are simple and useful, there are all manner of special moves and combinations you can use. If you jump twice in a row, Mario will jump a little higher on his second jump. If you jump 3 times in a row, Mario will flip high into the air on his third jump. Pressing B after jumping will make Mario kick. While you're running, if you press B, Mario will dive forward. These are very useful attacks, allowing you to take out a whole bunch of enemies quickly and easily. Fans of later games will know of the wall kick, or wall jump, whatever you want to call it. Well, at least for the Mario series, it originated here. If you jump at a wall, then press A as soon as you hit the wall, Mario will jump off. If 2 walls are close enough together, you can use this technique repeatedly in order to climb up the wall. However, there is one major difference in how the wall kick works in this game compared to later games. In the later games of the series, when Mario jumps onto a wall, he'll slide down it, allowing you to jump off at whatever point you want. However, in this game, Mario bounces off the wall when you hit it, meaning you have to jump as soon as you make contact. It's a bit tricky, especially if you've been playing a lot of the newer Mario games, but after a little practice, it isn't too bad. The only other major complaint I have with the controls is how difficult it can be to turn around. Sometimes when you move the control stick in the opposite direction of what you're currently facing, Mario will immediately change direction and start moving. However, sometimes you'll kind of walk in a little bit of a circle to turn around, which isn't good when you're on a narrow platform. It's really frustrating when you're almost done with a mission and you need to turn around, but Mario decides it would be better to walk into a hole. Yeah, that's not fun at all. Other than that though, I'd say the controls are pretty good, especially for a really early 3D platformer. While they're not perfect, they do provide a good basis for Nintendo's transition to 3D games. This game has 15 main stages to explore with 6 missions each. You complete each mission by collecting a Power Star. There's also a secret star hidden in each level that you get by collecting 100 coins in that stage. The titles of the missions are always hints on what you need to do to collect the star, though some of them are very vague or convoluted. These stages are all great. They provide a good amount of platforming challenge while still being straightforward enough for a beginner to enjoy. Well, at least at first. They get really hard later on. And some of these environments are really immersive. Like, did you know this is what the inside of a clock looks like? Yeah, neither did I. However, some of these levels kind of break that immersion by being more standard platforming challenges. I'm mostly thinking of the 3 Bowser levels. These are 3 levels which are basically 3D obstacle courses where you fight Bowser at the end. And I'm not saying these are bad levels. On the contrary, I actually really love them. It's just weird that they spent so much effort on making most of the levels feel real, while a few seem to make very little effort to be realistic or immersive. Besides the main 15 stages and the 3 Bowser stages, there are also a bunch of hidden secret levels. These are chances for you to earn 1 or more secret Power Stars. The most fun of these is the slide level, where you have to reach the bottom as fast as you can. You get a star just for reaching the bottom without falling, but you also get a second star if you complete the course in under 21 seconds. That took me a long time to find, but it felt awesome when I first got that star. Even within stages, there are often little bonus challenges like this. For instance, here we have another slide section, though this time there's a penguin who wants to race us to the bottom. It's a fun little challenge, especially since he likes to get in our way. This game doesn't have a lot of power-ups, but it does have some. These come in the form of 3 different caps Mario can find throughout the game. Initially, you'll see some red, green, and blue boxes floating in the air. When you try to hit them, you'll actually pass right through them. Hidden in 3 secret levels, you can find a red, green, and blue switch. When you press one, the boxes of that color will become solid, and now when you hit them, you'll get a cap out. Red boxes give you the wing cap, which lets Mario fly. You can tell Nintendo really liked this power-up, as they put Mario using it on the box for the game. Green boxes give you the metal cap, which makes Mario into Metal Mario for a short time. Metal Mario is invincible, and he's heavy so he'll sink and walk on the bottom of bodies of water. Blue boxes give you the invisibility cap, which makes Mario invisible, allowing you to walk through some walls and avoid enemies. Each of these powers wears off after a short time, which is good, because if you got to keep them for as long as you wanted, this game would be way too easy. Like every other Mario game before it, Super Mario 64 has a fantastic soundtrack. All of the songs in this game have become iconic, and they all fit very well where they're used. Probably one of the most well-known themes in the game is referred to as the Bob-omb Battlefield theme, although it's used in several levels of the game. This is probably one of the catchiest songs in any video game. It's perfect for the levels it's used in, as it just sounds fun, which is perfect for Mario and Nintendo in general. And how about the music used in the underwater levels, which just sounds, for lack of a better term, aquatic? Really, all of the music in this game is just fantastic, and it all has that Nintendo charm that we know and love. As great as this game is, the enemies are nothing special. They're basically just traditional Mario enemies. Although notably, there are some friendly Bob-ombs, and this is one of the earliest instances I can think of when a race from a Mario game that is traditionally an enemy turns out to be good. Some levels have bosses, though these guys are actually pretty boring and disappointing. Look how slow this guy moves, he's no threat at all. And speaking of bosses, look at Bowser, he's so chubby, he doesn't really look threatening. And the fights against him are equally unimpressive. You just grab him by the tail and throw him into one of the bombs surrounding the arena. While I do love this game, there are a bunch of little things that bug me every time I play it, such as this stupid rabbit, Mips. He's in the basement of the castle and he constantly runs away from you. You have to catch him and he'll give you a power star. Doing it once is hard enough, but then you have to do it again to get a second star. Seriously, Nintendo, why do you make us do this twice? It's so hard. Something similar that's equally as annoying is trying to catch this monkey. I'm seriously trying as hard as I can here to catch him, and I just can't. Or look at this. There's a level hidden in this wall here, but it looks just like all the other walls in this area. How are you supposed to find it unless you accidentally bump into it? That's actually how I found it the first time I played this game. I was trying to catch that rabbit and I dove into the wall by accident. And this mission just makes no sense. We have to help this penguin find her baby. How did she lose it in the first place? And she's just standing there instead of looking. Seriously, this penguin is the worst mother ever. The last level of the game is the longest and most challenging of the Bowser levels. If you collect 8 red coins before reaching Bowser, you'll get the 120th star, which is the last one. The Bowser fight is much like the other two, just spin him around by the tail and throw him into the bombs. When you defeat him, a star emerges, but this isn't actually added to your total star count, it sticks at 120. Mario puts on a wing cap and flies outside. The princess slowly appears and floats to the ground. She thanks Mario and gives him a kiss, then goes inside to bake him a cake. A kiss from a princess and a cake? Wow, that's a good deal.
Here we go!
Listen, everybody. Let's bake a delicious cake for Mario. Mario!
As the credits roll with some wonderful music playing, we see clips from throughout the game, which is a nice reminder of all that we accomplished. And that's it! However, we do get a couple of bonuses for beating the game. If we wander over to this pond outside the castle, we see that this cannon is now open. If we use it to launch up on top of the castle, we find a wing cap box, some 1-up mushrooms, and Yoshi! Unfortunately, we can't ride him, but he does give us 100 lives and a thank you message from the development team, which I guess is pretty nice. Besides that, now when we perform a triple jump, a trail of sparkles follow Mario through the air. And lastly, now the penguin that we raced earlier has put on a few pounds and wants a rematch. We don't get anything for it, it's just a nice bonus challenge. Super Mario 64 really is one of the best games ever made. It isn't perfect, but being one of the first 3D platformers, it was always going to have some flaws. Nintendo really did do a great job translating Mario into a third dimension, and I really look forward to playing this game again on my Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. Do you agree with my criticisms of Super Mario 64? And are you excited to play it on the Switch? Please let me know down in the comments. So, until next time, so long.